Hey, hey, hey. So I'm here. I am here. I am here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter when you may be catching this particular broadcast. Out to these fellas are here, your voice manager. I unmute the voice of women who are ready to speak up about what has kept her silent for way too long. And this is yet another episode of the Morning Press Morning Show. I am excited. It's about to go down. Good morning, Joanna. So, you guys know that I'm very transparent about this whole journey. And so, Friday, I did not, this Friday, I got a call from my doctor telling me that I needed to get to the ER. So, that was interesting. It completely revamped my whole weekend, and I actually needed to go to the ER and get a blood transfusion. That part. Good morning, Nicole. So I thank you for everybody that was praying. I know my team handled it like bosses, like the bosses they are. Then of course I had all the prayer warriors that were praying over me, for me, and with me um, as I went through the blood transfusion, and they were praying my strength as I went through. It was very interesting. Um, And I think what made it more interesting for me was the fact that we went through, like, just 2 weeks ago, I was praying for you guys, you shall live and not die. And I was praying it over you and I was praying it over myself as well. But like literally, and then Friday I get that call. And they called me like 7 something in the morning, and I had to be rushed to uh well, I didn't have to be rushed. I went to the ER. Um, it was, mm, I have to say, it was a humbling experience. I will say that I've never had to deal with um getting a blood transfusion before. I've never just, and I don't do hospitals like that. So that part. Uh, but I just had to share this because I think this is going to help. And so I told you guys, like 2 years ago, God had me go and do these devotionals. And he had me go and do these devotionals and then just sit on them, not upload them, not do anything. So I uploaded the first one last year, and then God had me go through the devotional with y'all, which was the woman's path to freedom. And so it's actually, that's the first one, and it's actually a set of four devotionals. The second one, I just got the proof for the second one. It's the Speaker's Path to Freedom, and that one is on Amazon right now as we speak. Um, that part, and so that's what we'll be going through now is the Speaker's Path to Freedom. But it was interesting because I didn't feel anything, y'all. Like there was no there was no pain. They were like, "Oh, you should be feeling fatigue and shortness of breath, and you should be you should have pain." And I'm like, "I don't feel any of that. I don't know what you're talking about." And the doctors are like looking at me going, "But wait, for your blood count to be as low as it is, like, no, you should feel something." And I said, "No, I didn't feel nothing. I just know that my obedience um to what God told me to do. I was obedient to what God told me to do, and it led to them finding this and now me being here." And it's crazy because so many times we go through this process of hearing God say something, or God telling us to do something, God telling us to be aware of something, and we don't do it because it's not popular. We don't do it because it doesn't feel quote unquote right, right? And so Friday was crazy because they called me, my doctor called me at like 7 something in the morning. And I said, "Oh my goodness, okay, God, what the heck?" Like, I don't never get no call from my doctor. So she said, "Your blood count is low and you need to go to the ER now. And you need to let them know that you need a blood transfusion and let them know that your hemoglobin is 6." Listen, hey, good morning, good morning. Hey, good morning. Hey, big bro, how are you? Hey, Trudy. And so I'm like, okay, all right. Well, I was still gonna go live, y'all. Y'all know I don't like y'all know I don't like missing, morning press. I was still gonna go live. And listen, God was just like, no, you heard what you were told to do. You need to go do it. So I go to the hospital, they go and run all of these tests, and they're like, yeah, your hemoglobin is really low. We may have to do, we're gonna have to set you up for the blood transfusion. And I'm like, and all this is new to me. Mind you, I'm sitting there, I'm a ball of energy. I got the doctor and the nurse laughing. I don't have the symptoms of what they're saying I should have, but I have what they said I had. I need y'all to catch that really quick before we talk about the message for today. You think because you look okay that everything's okay. And so you're being disobedient to what God has told you to do because you think everything looks okay. And the reality is that someone who is a specialist in what it is that they're talking about has told you something that you are supposed to be doing, and it is your disobedience that is keeping you and killing you. It's killing your purpose, it's killing your finances, it's killing your spirit, it's killing you. And if you continue to be disobedient, then you'll continue to see that it will not move. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning. Good morning. I listen, I was like, oh, okay, God, I get you. I feel you. So part of my obedience was God telling me, okay, it's time to put the next one on Amazon. All right, I put the next one up. And the very first thing is success without seeking attention. And I thought that was so interesting because I said, okay, God, wait, you want me to do what now? You success without seeking attention, but that's not. When did we talk about that? When did we listen? What you're gonna have to give me a little more because that's opposite of what the world says, right? The world says get your views up. The world says get your following up, that you should have a certain number of followers. In all actuality, they go and they hold back things from you because they said you don't have a big enough following. And that's crazy because God said, I can give you success without the attention, but you have to be obedient so that way you are well enough to take it and well enough to handle it. I said, oh, okay. So I thank you guys so much, all of y'all, for y'all prayers. I thank you for your words of encouragement. Like some of you didn't even know what I was going through, and I was still getting words of encouragement. I was still getting messages, text messages from my clients who were just like, "Oh my goodness, I'm doing your, system for X, Y, and Z, and I absolutely love it." Different things, right? And so that it scared me a little bit. I will say that at first, nobody wants to get a call from their doctor at all, but obedience is important. And so the scripture for this morning was James 4:6. and he gives grace generously. Y'all. And he gives grace generously. Hold please, so I can tell y'all the definition of grace. Because some of y'all be saying, "Oh yeah, we got grace, brand new. We got grace, and we got this, and we got that," and y'all be like, "Wait, what?" Yeah, ha ha ha. Yes, U46. Grace is simple elegance or refinement of movement. I need y'all to catch that. Simple elegance or refinement of movement. That part. Courteous goodwill. So, simple elegance or refinement of movement is what I want you to pay attention to, because when we go up a few scriptures, it is you adulterers don't realize that friendship with the world did its own thing. Don't realize that friendship with the world makes you an enemy of God. I say it again. If you want to be a friend of the world, you make yourself an enemy of God. So if you want to go by the world's standards for your business, then you are being an enemy of God. If you're going by God's standards for your business, then you're going to be a friend of God. You see how that works? If you want your relationship to work, then you make sure that it's based on the things. You see how that works? Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you think the scriptures have no meaning? They say that God is passionate, that the spirit he has placed within us should be faithful to him, and he gives grace generously, as the scripture says. The reason why that was so important was because when we think about refined movement is not movements that everybody is doing. Listen. Refined movement is not the movement that everybody is doing. It is not the popular movement. When you look at somebody who is an athlete, the refined movements that they do for their bodies is not what everybody is doing. That is why they are able to perform at a higher capacity. And so some of us, because we have been just going with the status quo. We've been going with the everyday. We've been going with the flow, quote unquote, right? We haven't refined our movements. We haven't received the grace that God has given to us. And so part of that is through us because we've been disobedient in how God has been telling us to take care of our bodies. God has been telling us how to take care of our minds. He's been telling us how to take care of our children. Y'all better come on. He's been telling us how to do our business. And we have been going against what he said in order for us to go ahead and be like everybody else. But you were not called to be like everybody else. Sorry, not sorry. Now, I done been in prayer for the last hour and some odd minutes, hour and 45 minutes or so, which is why I didn't start at 8:30 like I was supposed to. But I'm here now and we fitting to blow this all the way out the water. Because again, it was my obedience, even though it did not look like it did not physically, I did not literally. These doctors are looking at me going, "You don't feel lethargic, you don't feel tired." I'm like, "No, I'm a ball of energy. What are you talking about?" They're like, you're not having no shortness of breath. You're not what are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sitting here in front of you. What you want me to go jog around the ER? What you need? And so literally we are doing the damage, but we don't see all the damage that's being done. We're in a place of come on. We've been depleted and we don't understand just what that is because it doesn't look. We're comparing our look. We're comparing our marriage to somebody else's marriage. We're comparing our children to somebody else's children. We're comparing our business to somebody else's business. And so we're always in this place of comparison when God is saying, "No, I'm giving you the direct download. I'm giving you the grace." 'Cause- 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 ' Why do you keep sitting grace on the table? It's literally, we're in this space of he's giving us grace, but we're putting grace to the side. We're thinking about the grace as a of an afterthought. Come on. Come on. Joanna said, we better stop taking advice from the world's perspective. Come on. Come on. Because we've gotten to the point where we don't see anything wrong with what they're doing. We don't see anything wrong with what they're saying. We've gotten so, like, our ears is like, ooh, it sounds good. Hmm. We will no longer be, we will no longer fantasize about what just sounds good. I'm gonna just throw it out there. You like it, you like it, you don't, you don't. I'm sorry, not really sorry. We're gonna stop fantasizing what sounds good. We're gonna stop fantasizing it. There's a reason why we go and do a yearly physical. It's not because you think you're good. It's so every year you can go and have an account. Oh, come on. Every year you can go and have an account of where you are physically. The difference is our spirit man, we need to be doing that on a regular basis. But we're going and doing the yearly physical with our spirit man, thinking that's all we need, and thinking we're gonna be all right. We gonna be okay. We all right, but we're not. And so I'm thankful that they were able to catch it. Literally, I had my physical 2 weeks ago, had my appointment, did all the blood work and everything, and they got the blood work back, and that was the response. We have gotten to a point where we romanticize the millionaire get quick rich story. We romanticize um, being the overnight success. And so we forget that there are people who are successful who are not in the limelight. And so there's people and I'm telling you this not from something that hurt. I'm telling you this because I've interviewed 6 and 7 and 8 figure earning entrepreneurs who you would probably never know their name because they're just not in the limelight like that. They have success and don't need the attention. Because see, you think you need the attention to get your business on the up and up. You think you need the attention to get in front of more people. God is saying, I will put you in front of the people. I will put you before kings. Come on. Oh, y'all better catch this. Hmm. Don't be so attracted to getting in front of the multitudes and the quantity of people that you forget that there is something to be said about being in front of quality of people. Come on. Being in front of a quality of people is different. I was at a conference this weekend. I was mad I couldn't go to the conference the whole weekend, y'all. I was on. I did listen. I was resting Friday and Saturday. Well, I was in the hospital for like 8 hours Friday. That was whew, not my cup of tea. So, but I rest. I made sure I got some rest. I came back Friday night. Got home, just rested for the rest of the night. Saturday, rested the majority of the day. And then Saturday night, I went to the last part of the conference because I was just like, all right, I asked permission. God, please let me go. Holy Ghost, please. Jesus, speak to God on my behalf. Please let me go to this conference. And the quality of people there, the ministry that was being set forth was on fire. I just go, God, I thank you for putting me in front of the kings and queens while other people are just happy with being in front of people. I thank you for the doors that will open up because you've put me in front of kings and queens and because I did not have to have the attention of people. I tell you, I'm still the introvert. I'm still the person that makes moves differently than most because I'm not always out in front of everybody and but I want to be obedient. God, if you put me in a room with 200 people, I'm going to speak to 200 people. But God, if you put me in a room with 2 people, I'm going to speak to 2 people. Here's the thing. And some of y'all, those of you that have followed me for some length of time, you guys know this. I did a conference. I did a tour the tour was in 2019. And I was going from city to city to city. I went to New York, I did the Carolinas, I did Georgia, we had to cancel Florida. I did Philly, Maryland, like we did a couple different places up and down the East Coast. And I gave the same energy no matter how many people were in the room. And so I had a room that had 2 people. I gave the same energy. That was the preparation for the next. Look, Johanna said, she said, look, my sister said, I remember the tours. And literally to the point where I didn't make any money on the tours. None. Between travel and like all the expenses, all of that, I did not make any money on the tours. But I was obedient throughout the whole thing. And it connected me with people that I'm still connected to today. It allowed me to hone in on my message. It allowed me to realize that being in front of people is my heart. Like it's not just a purpose, it's a passion for me. And even though my personality, I don't always do being in front of big crowds. I do like being in front of people to be able to help them, guide them, whatever, however it sees fit at the time. And so it was a great reminder for me. That's why people would walk up to you and tell you their whole life story that you did not even know. So I was having success without the attention. That was without people, thousands of people. That was without hundreds of people showing up. It was the success because lives were being changed. Come on. Good morning, sis. It was the obedience. And so I did not have to have the attention. Listen, my sis, the trailblazer, her and I did an event in Philadelphia a few years ago. We're still connected. It was never like God put you in the room for a reason. And so often we're looking for, again, the attention of the moment that we forget that there's something bigger at hand. And so, me going to the ER on Friday wasn't in my plan, but I was obedient. I went. It made me go back and say, God, anything that is sick, that is dying, anything that is hurt, wounded, that I do not see, God, heal it. Make me aware of it so it can be healed. So that I can be stronger and fulfill what you have called me to fulfill. Come on. Come on. Allow me to be in the best place possible to fulfill what you have asked me to fulfill. God, I will be obedient. And that was just my response. Everything, God, I will be obedient. What you have called me to do, I will be obedient. I told y'all with the book, these are done. It's literally a set of four. It's four different ones, and they each have different scriptures in them. Different, each one, a set of four. He just told me, okay, upload the first one last year. No launch, no nothing. Just now, last week, he's upload the next one. Okay, obedience. It's interesting too because the attention, everybody wants attention. It's nobody wants to be in the dark. Let's be honest. Nobody wants to be on the other side of the mountain. Real talk. But what we fail to realize is that while we are on the other side of the mountain, there is a strengthening that is happening. There is a healing that is happening. There is an upgrade that is happening. And we get to go ahead and increase in our wisdom. We increase in our patience. We increase in who it is that God has called us to be. And so, God, I thank you for allowing us in this season, in this time, to increase. Let us not be weary and fearful of having to take our ER trip. For me, it was a blood transfusion. For you, it may be something else. For you, it may be, listen, you got to go to this doctor or that, whatever it may be. God, allow us not to be fearful to take the steps necessary so that way we are in our full strength and nothing gets laid by the wayside. Come on. And nothing gets laid by the wayside. And so when he asked me to do these 2 years ago, I did them. Uploaded the first one last year, uploaded another one this year. He may not have me upload the next one until next year. Whatever he says goes. Whatever he says goes. Here's the thing. And I'm trying to find the right words to say because I don't want to offend anyone. When there is a spirit of people pleasing that we have not been healed from, we will crave the attention. we will get full off of the attention. And even to the point where we don't realize that God has given us the attention we needed. Hmm. He's given us the attention we needed. The attention that we're trying to get from our husband, God has given us. Ooh. The attention you're trying to get from your children, God has given you. But because you're so focused on getting the attention from them, you've bypassed the attention from Him. And when we are full of the attention we get from Him, we walk different. You pray different. Hmm. You speak differently. You will. You'll speak differently. When the attention comes from God, then we do things different because there is an abundance of, um, there's a boldness and an abundance of confidence that comes from that. And we'll walk in the room different. When I don't need the constant attention of my children, then I can allow my children to live their greatest lives. When I don't need the constant attention of my spouse, then I can be there to be his helpmeet. Come on. Look, Trudy said it. Ouch, that hurt. I am in a position where I can go and I'm not craving that. We talk about cravings. And even when I think about, me having to go get the blood transfusion, I am anemic, uh, high, severely, I guess. Um, and so I have to increase the iron. Of course, I am a big ice eater, that part. Uh, but there was always a craving for ice. And the craving was there because there was a deficiency. Yeah, yeah. I won't tell y'all business. I'll tell my business. I'll be transparent because God kept me. I'm here, I'm living, I'm breathing, I have all my capacities. I told you, even when I got to the hospital, they were like, wait, with your hemoglobin so low, you should be in pain, you should be having a hard time breathing, you should not be in your right mind, you should be, are you okay? Like, and I'm like, I'm fine. Let's figure this out what we need to do so I can go home because I don't want to be here, but I'm fine. But there was a deficiency. Our craving for attention is because there is a deficiency. Good morning, Berlin. Our craving the same way I had to get the blood transfusion Friday, it's because there was a deficiency. Guess what? There was a deficiency. That deficiency led to me having a low red blood count. Well, any lower and it would have been a situation for real, for real. It was already bad. So that craving of attention gives us is because of that deficiency. Sometimes that deficiency is because we didn't have our father in our lives. Sometimes that deficiency is because we didn't have our mother in our lives. Y'all better come on this morning. Sometimes the deficiency is because we have a poverty mindset. Sometimes the deficiency is because we had the death of a child. Sometimes whatever the deficiency is that we're dealing with, whatever that hole is that we're dealing with, we will continue to try to fill it with other things. And God is saying, I have what you need to fill it. I can give you what it is that you need to fulfill, to go ahead and not no longer have that deficiency. And don't allow it to get to the point where now it's an emergency and I have to pull you away. Oh, y'all better come on. And I have to shut all the doors and pull you away from everything in order for me to be able to give you the transfusion you need. Come on. Uh-huh. Always eat nice. But God is saying literally there was a deficiency. The reason why you looked at your coach as a mother instead of just a coach is because there was a deficiency there. Y'all better come on. The reason why somebody will go outside of their marriage is because there's a deficiency. Oh, y'all may not be ready for that this morning. All right. I, you know, I may not be able to go that deep with y'all this morning. I told y'all I done been in prayer for like almost 2 hours this morning. Y'all finna get it all. There's a deficiency. And you either take care of the deficiency early on, or you get to an emergency moment and have to take care of the deficiency, but there's a deficiency. Come on. Come on. So if we are craving the attention, then it's because there's a deficiency. And once we go ahead and we allow God to fill that and to heal that, we can overcome it and we come back stronger. So one of the questions that they kept saying to me was, "Oh my goodness, so do you feel different after the blood transfusion?" I said, "I feel like a vampire, like I shouldn't be outside during the daytime." But do you feel different because the transfusion happens? Oh, y'all better come through with this. The transfusion happens, and there is a literally where they go and they're pushing through the blood uh to be able to give me, it's supposed to increase my red blood count. So the transfusion happens. Some of you, that's what you need to be doing today, is you need to be speaking to God and asking God, God, just do the transfusion for me. Because it's supposed to increase my red blood count. It's supposed to increase my strength. It's supposed to increase, yeah, it's supposed to increase all of these things. And so we've been getting to, we've been dealing with and just living with the deficiencies because we felt like we just had to live with it. And God is saying we don't have to just live with the deficiencies. He said, get the transfusion. He said, because his blood can do better than anything else. So if you go ahead and you ask God, God, do the transfusion. Now the blood that Jesus shed on the cross is what's going through your business. Now the blood that was shed on the cross is going through your marriage. Now the blood that was shed on the cross is going through your children. It's going through relationships. It's going through friendships. It's going through your finances. It's going through all of those things because now you've said, God, can you just go ahead and do the transfusion? I can't understand why this deficiency is here or what's been going on, but I see it. You've alerted me to it. God, do the transfusion. And I came into that understanding a few years back, but there was still the deficiency. See, God has to remove us from some things and then start doing the work. Hey, when there are certain things that has to happen in your body or certain surgeries and things, there's a time of fasting that you have to do. And so literally God has to pull us away from things. So there's a moment where God is telling you, okay, I need you off of social media. There's a moment where God is saying, I need you to physically fast. There's a moment where God is saying, I need you to be more in my word. I need to pull you from something in order for me to fill you with this. Come on. Come on. I need to pull you away from something. I need to separate you from something. And so you go through this separation and you're asking God, God, why? Why are you doing this? Why am I going through this? Why am I dealing with this separation? And the thing about it is that God is saying, I pulled you from it because I needed to go ahead and do the transfusion. And so God needed me to go to the hospital Friday for a transfusion. Uh, that part, right? I had to go Friday for the transfusion in order to take care of the deficit. In order to increase you. Y'all better come on. We some of you have been praying for increase, and God is saying, well, in order for you to increase, I need to do the transfusion. Hmm. God is saying, in order to increase you, I need to do the transfusion. So I need you to go ahead and move away from that. That was why I called you away from your favorite church. That is why I no longer have you talking to your best friend, because there's a transfusion that needs to happen. Thank you, Paula. Paula is, oh my goodness, one of my amazing people that was praying for me this weekend. Listen, the reason why you're not talking to the best friend anymore is because he needed to do a transfusion. The difference is that if you don't do the transfusion and you go back to it, that deficit will still be there. Come on, right? Listen, when you learned, come on. He'll pull you away from something because he needs to do a transfusion. And as he's doing the transfusion, you can't be busy. Can I tell y'all that 8 hours that I spent in that bed, bruh, it was torture, 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 torture. 8 hours in the ER room. Some of the time I spent listening to one of my books on Audible. The other time I found some show on the television, but had that playing. I was bored out my freaking mind. I was so bored. And I was just sitting there going, God, I should have brought my laptop. I could have been doing this. I could have been doing that, God. I should have brought my laptop. And God said, no, I need to pull you away from all of that. There is a, so the transfusion happens. You first have to have the understanding of where you are. So they had to do tests. Then they had to find, oh, y'all better catch this. They had to find where I was. They had to run more tests. Then they had to go and um, determine what the test meant. Then they had to go and make sure that they had the right blood and prepare the blood. I need y'all to grab this with both hands. God knows where we are even before he said 20 Jeremiah 29:11, before he formed us in our mother's womb. I know the plans I have for you though. So he already knows where we are. He did the assessment, he did the test. He knows where we are and where we will be. Then they had to prepare the blood. He already sent his son to the cross. But you still have to be there to receive the transfusion. You still have to receive it. And so they do the test. They go from doing the test to preparing the blood. He prepared the blood. He sent his son to the cross. And, but then you have to receive what that meant. You have to receive the blood. And then you must rest. And then you must rest. That is where some people are right now. You're in the time and where you've thought that you're like, but I'm a Christian, but I follow God, but I read the Bible, but I pray. And God is saying, I know, and you do it to a certain degree, but you can't do it at the highest capacity because there is a deficiency. And so I need you to receive the blood, and rest. And then go and get further instructions, right? So I know that I have an amazing friend circle. And so I got scientists, I have um, nurses, we got teachers. It's like our friend circle is pretty diverse. And my one sis, I love her. She's a scientist, and she was just like, okay, so she said, I called somebody who's in biology. I called somebody else who's in this. She said, this is what they're saying because of this, and this is what you need. And because what we fail to realize is that God will never leave us in a space where we do not have access to what we need. He'll never leave us in that space. We think he will because we compare him to man. God will never leave us in this space. And so that transfusion was necessary, but there's a spiritual one that people need that's even more necessary. Come on. Y'all, when I tell you my eyes was just like, okay, God, he was just downloading, downloading, downloading. Then yesterday I was going to try to do some work and do a live stream on Amazon, and God was just like, I said rest. He said, I let you go to the conference and to Pretty Girls Pray, and I let you go there and I let you pray and I let you do all of that and go up. Rest. And so I did nothing yesterday. Come on. Paula said it. Rest is necessary on the journey. I did nothing yesterday. It felt horrible. Like I don't like not doing anything, but that was where he had me. Look, that's right. Receive the blood, then rest and receive instruction. And that's when he was like, oh yeah. He was like, oh yeah, we about to get started with the next one. I told you. We about to get started with the next one, the speaker's path to freedom. And part of that being a successful speaker is I don't have to crave attention. I don't have to crave attention for success. I don't have to crave attention to be on certain stages. I don't have to crave attention. And because I don't have to crave that attention, man, God puts me in a special place. We talked about it last week. God'll give you peace because you don't have to crave the attention. You don't have to base your prices and compare it to what somebody else is paying for. Do y'all know? And I was laughing because I saw the picture and then I saw the video that Kev on stage did about it. That there is a company, a well-known high fashion company. Come on, who they have taken what looks like the top of boxers and sewed it into a pair of pants, and they are selling it for about $1,200. Folk out here buying $1,200 pants with the top of a boxers sewed into it, and people been buying that for years. Buy you a $10 pack of boxers and 20 pairs $20 pair of sweatpants. This is look. Did she say is this gonna be a class? Listen, God has me. He won't have me doing this one as a class. He has me doing it as the 4-book series. Um, and then he has me in January. He did give me that. In January, I'm doing a session, a 6-week session masterclass with 25 women. No more than 25 women. Um, so that'll be coming up. But he has me. strategically putting this in place. And I'm like, okay, God, listen, come on. Not only know the assignment, but follow the assignment. Come on, Paula. Whoo-wee. And Trudy just said, look, God did say, come on, anyone, come on, come on, everybody, just one, at least one day of rest. Come on, at least one day of rest. I learned that this lesson has been one heck of a lesson. I know, I'm like, God, woo, all right. All right, God, this is where you have me. This is what we're going through. This is what we're doing. I receive it. That part. I receive it. It's about to be something vicious, y'all. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to transpire. I don't know what all God is doing, but I'm obedient. So for those of y'all who just came in, I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Uh, God is just doing things, y'all. So the morning press is every morning in the 8 o'clock hour. You guys know. Um, the first ones we were doing the Woman's Path to Freedom, the 21-day journal, and now this one is the Speaker's Path to Freedom. And then it's a set of 4, but he just had me upload this one this year. The first one he had me uploaded last year. All 4 are done, but he just had me upload it. Okay. Come on. Come on. That's right. We got to sometimes walk with him without all of the bells and whistles, without, again, success without the attention. Because God has given us grace, He's given us refined movement, success without the attention. And, when we think about that, it goes against the popularity. It goes against the popular thing to do. But success without attention is not to say, I don't want anybody to see me. It's to say, God, I want the right people to see me. God, I want you to orchestrate what rooms I will be in. And God will open up doors to rooms, and you didn't even know that room was available to you. You didn't even know that room was a room, but he opens it up and puts you before kings and queens. He puts you in the place of royalty. He puts you in a place of government officials. He puts you in a place, y'all better catch it. He puts you in a place where you are going to not only expand, but do so rapidly. Why? Because you've been obedient to what he has called you to do. Come on. You've been obedient to what he has called you to do. And when you have that obedience, he will open up the doors. And I talked about it this morning when I prayed. This morning, it was God downloaded. Obedience is our strategy. Obedience is your profit plan. Obedience is listen, it's your plan for your marriage. Obedience is your plan for your children. Like, we get so caught up in the plan that we're putting down on the paper, and we get so caught up so much so that when a door closes, now we're stuck in front of that door because we've attached ourselves, and we've um literally only gone by the plan that was on paper. But that's part of it. Our obedience is when the door closes, we move to the next door, and we don't get high off of the aroma of who we thought we were going to be, and we go ahead and we move to the next door. Obedience is so much more valuable than what we would think. And obedience will have you do things that will unlock the answers to your prayers. Like, that's what obedience will do. Obedience will literally have you do things that unlock things that you weren't even thinking about doing, things that people you don't know, you blessing people and don't even know it. It will have you doing things that will unlock something else. I can give an example. God had me do a conference. It was called the World Voice Summit, and I did it for 2 years straight. The first year, we had over 100 speakers. This was before everybody was doing all of these big name conferences and everything, before COVID and all of that. So I was doing this, and people weren't really sure about it. They were kind of just now getting into it. Over 100 speakers. I can tell you that the majority of those speakers that I go and talk to now, they're going and they're doing other things. They said, man, that shifted something for them. That opened up opportunities for them. Guess what? It was obedience. It was obedience. Did I know everything that was going to happen with that? No. Was it easy? Heck no. We had, I don't remember how many countries on this one conference. We had speakers who were literally in different time zones, to the point where one of them, it was 24-hour difference. And we're like, oh, trying to make sure everybody is in the right. Listen, it's obedience. Obedience. Obedience is the key. Obedience is the key. And so when we understand that, obedience becomes everything. And so now, okay, well, God, where would you have me go, God? That's why I said, God, can I have permission to go to the conference? Just the last night, just the last part. Can I have permission, please? Because I know I'm gonna be obedient. You told me to rest. So he allowed me to go Saturday night, and then Sunday I had to rest. Obedience will not always be um, comfortable. I know we wish that it would be, but our obedience will not always be comfortable. Our obedience won't always be popular. Our obedience will not always feel good. It did not feel good sitting in a hospital bed for 8 hours on Friday. It didn't. I wanted for everything to just get up and leave. Can we do this? Can we come back and do this at another time? Can we can we come and do this? Can y'all come to my house and do it? Because we want convenience, right? Can you just come to my house and do it? Can I take this home? But our obedience is the key. And that means our obedience when God tells you to pray about something, our obedience when God tells you to apologize, our obedience when God tells you to write the book, our obedience when God tells you to start the business, our obedience when God tells you to close the business, our obedience when God tells you to sow the seed, our obedience when God tells you to make the call. Our obedience is everything. Hmm. I wish it was as simple as us just saying, "Oh, well, obedience is always going to feel good." It's not. Hey, Shalonda. Good morning, sis. Because guess what? When God told me to write these, I was being obedient. When He told me to upload it and not do a launch, God, that ain't how it go. You know how we be like, God, you don't see? That's not the plan. That's not the strategy. That's not what it say on paper. On paper, you're supposed to go publish a book, do a launch, bada bing, bada boom. You're supposed to do this whole big thing. People supposed to go. But again, success without attention. If you go back and you look at the messages from people that were putting it in the comments when I went through this, the first one, the 21-day journal that we did a few weeks ago, you will literally see success without attention. You'll see people saying, This was for me. You'll see people saying, I needed this. So when he told me to upload the second one, okay, it's uploaded. It's still two more. He didn't tell me to upload them yet. I'm being obedient. But the success without the attention, we can have it. Hmm. We just started it this morning. So the new one we started this morning with the success without attention. You can message me, sis. I'll get you together. I'll get you together. They're on Amazon as well though. They are on Amazon. The new one just got uploaded. It's the Speaker's Path to Freedom, and the first one is the Woman's Path to Freedom. And man, and then I had somebody who was like, "Well, is it a bunch of like, is it like stories in there? Is it words?" No, no, no. I'm gonna let you know this before you get the book. This is not. This is not. This ain't for your enjoyment. I love you, but this is not for your enjoyment. This is not stories. It's not story time. This is not Blues Clues. This not Sesame Street. No, no, no. These are for you to do the work. And so literally it is the word from God. It is the scripture and it is the space for you to do the writing and do the work. Come on. That's it. That's it. Yes, indeed. Oh, see you, Paula. Have a great Monday. Happy Monday to you, Queen. That's what it was. Which was crazy because I was like, oh God, I should put this in there. I should give them a little snake. He said no. And I said, oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess we I guess we finna just get this work. You just finna share things and tear it apart, huh? And then it was one of the things while I was praying Saturday at the conference was that I just have kept hearing God say, He is tearing down the walls. He's ripping apart the walls. And it's interesting that he was saying that he was tearing them down and ripping them apart. Because when we think about a wall, there are walls that we say are quote unquote paper thin, right? That you can hear what's going on in the next room. And then there are walls when we think about brick walls. And so God is saying, I'm tearing them all down. The ones where you could hear what was going on next in the next room and those that you could not. I'm tearing down the walls. And when he's tearing down the walls, it's because he's rebuilding something. So when we think about our path to freedom, there are some things that need to be ripped apart and uprooted and torn down because we've built things with the world's mindset. We've built things without looking to him for his guidance. We've built things and it's an unstable structure. So God is saying, I have to rip it apart. I have to tear the walls. Come on, right? Tatrice said it. He's pruning. He said, I got to rip it apart. I got to tear down the walls in order for us to rebuild stronger. Your path to freedom will have strong walls. Your path to freedom will have a strong foundation. And so he has to go back and rip up the things that you thought was a solid foundation. He got to go back and rip up the things that you thought was the reason why it ended the way it ended is because you thought that that was your way to success. You thought that that was stable. You thought that that was stability. And God is showing you, no, no, no. I'm not only going to show you that because when things come and happen and you're about to see some things shift and shake and you're literally got to see things move and what you thought was a strong foundation, you will see it crumble for other people. You will see it crumble in other people's lives, and you'll say, "Wow, God, you saved me." I was in that same spot. I would have been right there underneath the rubble if I would have stayed. God, you saved me. And it's because He got to rip it apart. It will have strong walls. Whew. Mm-mm-mm. Y'all, we not building with we not building with the supplies that are the cheapest supplies anymore. We're not building with and for some of you this is listen, we're not building with the supplies that were left over from someone else. We're not using those anymore. God said, I'm giving you the exact supplies that you need to build the strongest foundation, to have the strongest foundation. God literally, he will shift you in such a way, but He will put you in a position to where you can see the things crumbling, and you'll be able to know it was God that removed you from there. Come on. I'm not using old supplies. I'm not borrowing tools. Y'all better come on this morning. I'm not borrowing tools. Your words will not sound like somebody else's words. Ha! Your book will not sound like somebody else's book because you're using a template. We won't have to borrow tools in this season. I hope y'all caught that. Ooh. Mm. You will not need the template because God said you will not be using somebody else's tools. You will not be using somebody else's supplies. You will not have to use leftover supplies. Y'all, I hope y'all ready because we finna. This is about to be a whole nother situation, y'all. I love y'all though. Come on, not borrowing tools. Come on, we won't need other people's supplies because we are building something on a solid foundation. That's it. Patrice said it. Getting it straight from the mouth of God. Hmm. God, I thank you. Whew, I am going to let you guys go because I do have some work that I can get done today, and then I have to go back to resting until I'm told that I can be at full capacity. That part. Uh, the assignment has changed, and so you need to go back and find out what the assignment is. You need to have that moment of receiving the blood and having the transfusion, and again, go back and find out what that assignment is for this next season. Um, don't be comfortable in doing what you've always done, in living the life that you've always lived. Things are fitting to change. That's it. I love you guys. Have a amazing rest of your day. You guys know I try to come within the 8 o'clock hour. I was in prayer this morning. That thing was so good, y'all. That thing was so good. I went right on by the time that I was supposed to go live. But I always want to make sure that I'm bringing y'all this, and we about to go through this second one. I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all ready. I appreciate you guys though. Have a amazing day. Also, I'll send you the information to Trish to get the copies of the book too. You guys, I love you. Yeah. Yeah, yes, ma'am. Look, Trudy said rest. Yes, ma'am. I receive it. I receive it. I was nervous about it, but I receive it because I know God has me here for such a purpose at such a time as this. And come on, right, Eureka? Ooh, even to the point where it's funny. They said that I would physically have more energy after the transfusion because you're supposed to be like tired and all this other stuff, but spiritually I have more energy. And so I noticed it Saturday when I was praying at the conference, and then this morning when I was in prayer, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." So it was a natural transfusion, but spiritually I had a transfusion, and the energy level I guess slightly went up naturally, but the energy level on in the spirit, man, it went all the way up. So that's right. That's right. So I receive it. Whew. Yeah, that's it. Come on. Eureka said it. It's the next level turbulence. Y'all, it's about to be so good. It's about to be so good. All right. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Guys, see you. And don't forget to press it out.